Perfect. So, hello everyone, and thank you for being here. So, today the goal of this webinar is to allow you to understand how the platform works through a use case, which is the assessment and the feedback on group members. So we'll see different use cases linked to this format of activity. Just a quick reminder, we organize the webinar every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. and in French and at 2 p.m. in English. And this webinar will last 30 minutes and will be recorded. So I will send you the replay after. And if you have questions, you will be able to ask me at the end. So let's start. First, a quick presentation of ChallengeMe and a presentation of me, of course. So my name is Jean, and at ChallengeMe, I'm in charge of supporting the users in the platform. So it can be on technical questions or on pedagogical questions. And ChallengeMe, we are a peer review and learning platform. So we provide an environment allowing the students to assess each other's on a work, or it can be also on behavioral criteria. So we'll see just after. We exist since 2015, and we work with business schools, engineering schools, and also universities, mainly in France, but we also start to work with schools from Switzerland, Canada, Belgium, and that's all, I think. And we are fully integrated to the main learning management system of the market, like Moodle, Blackboard, Brightspace, Camilo as well as the learning management system supports the LTI standard. So you don't need to have separate credentials. Everything will be directly on your LMS. So we'll start with the two approaches we have regarding the peer review. So we will distinguish two approaches. The first one is the assessment of work. So here we'll ask the student to submit a work to the platform, and then we'll ask them to assess the work of others following the criteria defined by the teachers. And at the end, they will be able to find out the different feedback they received on their productions. So the idea with this approach is to allow the student to improve their technical skills, their art skills, and the notions they have developed in the work they asked. And the other approaches that we have is the assessment of group members. So we will focus on this use case today, and I will show you how to launch this kind of peer review. And the assessment of group members, we won't ask the student to assess the work, but directly their teammates with whom they have collaborated. So here they will assess their teammates on communication within the group, initiative taking, self-management. So we have a criteria base you can pick criterion from. I will show you everything just after. And the idea is to allow the students to understand how to give relevant feedback and how to receive a feedback as well, allowing them to prepare themselves for the professional world. It will also allow the teachers to easily identify who are the what we call the free riders, which are the students who won't be really involved in the group work, and this just can create frustration with the others. So it can be useful to identify them. So I will show you different use case now. So I just spoke about the fact of identifying the free riders. You can also launch different assessment of group members at different moments of a project. So for example, if you have a project that will last several weeks or several months, you can launch a peer review at different steps, allowing the students to understand how they are perceived by the others and how they can improve their behavior in the group work and how they can best contribute to the group work. So this is the use case number 2, which is measuring group dynamics. And you can also use the peer review to let them understand how to write an effective feedback to their teammates. So we have different guides you can use to explain to students how to write relevant feedback, what is the posture to receive the feedback, how to analyze them, etc. I didn't mention something, but you can also use this kind of activity to leverage a group rock. So let's imagine a group received 14 out of 20. You can leverage this grade regarding the grade from the peer review, the intra-group peer review, to add a point to the well-involved students and remove points for the others. So before showing you how to create a challenge in the platform, it's important to understand what is a challenge, what we call a challenge. So for us, a challenge is an environment with different faces you can add. So here you can see that you have 5 kind of faces. So you have the rock submission phase, and this phase will allow the student to submit a rock to the platform based on instructions given by the teacher. Then you have the assessment of rock phase. So here the participant will have to assess the rock submitted during a rock submission phase. We have evaluation of group members. So we will use this phase for our use case for today. Here we'll ask the student to assess their teammates with whom they have collaborated. We have the feedback evaluations, allowing the student to indicate if they found the feedback relevant or not. And a result phase to calculate the score and to display the score to the students. And we can order their phases the way we want. So here we have 3 examples. For our use case, it will be based on the example number 1, because we will have a teammate assessment phase following by a result phase. In the example number 2, it will be more for the assessment of rock, because we'll ask first to the student to submit a rock to the platform. Then we'll ask them to assess the rock of others, and we will display the results. And the example number 3, just to show you that you can define a custom format of challenge if you want to follow your pedagogical scenario. So here, for example, we can have a first submission phase. Then this work will be assessed during the rock assessment phase by the students. In the meantime, we can ask the students to assess their teammates if they want. We can have a second submission phase, and this second improved version can be assessed by the teachers or by the students. It depends the way you want to create the challenge. And at the end, the students are able to find out their results, and they can also indicate if they found the feedback received relevant or not. So this is just an example to show you that you can really custom your challenge as you want. So we will see how to create the example number 1 is in this webinar. So I can show you how to do it now. So we switch to a Moodle environment. So, but if you use Brightspace or Blackboard, it will work on the same way. Okay, so normally you should see a Moodle environment. So we have a course, and in this course, we will add a ChallengeMe activity. So if you are in Brightspace, it will be the same, in Blackboard the same, etc. So I will switch to edition mode. So I have the teacher right in this course, and I will click on add an activity or resource. I will just switch to English. Okay, so add an activity or resource. And in the activity selector, I can select ChallengeMe when ChallengeMe is integrated to your LMS. You can name your activity. So evaluation of group members, for example. And you can click on Save and Display. And then open a new window. And now we land on the ChallengeMe interface to create our challenge. So Here we can choose to create our challenge in direct mode or in accompanied mode. In direct mode, you will have all the features available and you can create a challenge by yourself. And in accompanied mode, you will have a simplified form asking you some information. And once the form is filled, it will send us a request to create a challenge. So we'll check if we have all the information and we'll generate the challenge for you. And by this way, you are sure that your challenge is well configured. Um, Today, I will show you how to create an intra-group assessment in direct mode because you will have all the features available. And of course, if you need a validation in our site, you can ask us to check your challenge if you need a verification. So I click on direct mode. And here I can create a challenge from scratch. So I will add one by one the different faces I want. I can also choose a template. This is what I will do. So I will choose evaluation of group members, the category. And here I can select the template I want to use. So for today, I will use this one, which is the assessment of group members. If you are interested with the others, you can click on Discover to understand how it works. So I click on Create. So here I can name my challenge. So I will let it like that. I have a summary, so I can change it as well. And the interesting things will be here. So here you can see the different phases you have in a challenge. So here we can see that we have 3 phases: a group registration phase, evaluation of group members phase, and a result phase. If you need to add more phase, you can click on Add Phase, and you can add, I don't know, assessment of work, for example, phase, and you can add it where you want in the challenge and define dates for this phase. Just to let you know that you can choose a template and make involve the template to fit your needs. So with this template, I said that we have 3 phases. So we will start with the assessment of group members phase. So to set it up, I click on it, and then I can define the dates. So I will define a start date and end date. I can activate some notifications if needed. I can also allow late submissions if I want. I can define instructions. It's already done, but you can edit it if you want. And we have the evaluation criteria. So here you can pick criteria from our ChallengeMe database. So for example, ability to help others. In our case, it will be useful. I will just put more items per page. I can also use autonomy on dedicated task. I have also dealing with unexpected can be also useful, distribution of work. So you can select the criteria you want to define. So I just selected the 3 criteria, but if you want to select more, you can. We usually recommend between 4 and 6 criteria, but you can define as many as you want. And each criterion will be rated by the students from 1 to 10 stars. In the next update of the platform, it will be really soon. It's like several days. You will be able to define the number of stars per criterion. So if you want 5 criterion for the first one, 6 for the second one, and 3 for the last one, you will be able to set it up. Here, the interface I show you doesn't allow me to define it because we don't have the update for now, but it will be the case really soon. I just inform you because when you will launch your activity, it will probably be the case. So you will be able to define the number of stars. You can also define just not a star, but a point to give. You can also define predefined options. So at this moment, the students won't have 1 to 10 stars, but different options that they can select. So here, for ability to help others, they will be able to select one of the 4 descriptions showed. And by this way, the students won't have the impression to assess their teammate, but just to indicate how they perceived their teammates, and what is the best the best description to explain how their teammates behave. And you can also add a criterion and define from scratch, so you can do it by clicking on Add Criterion. And you can also edit the predefined criteria you choose, of course. So you can, if you want to edit some things, you can do it. You can add a specific feedback field if you want to each criterion with this option, and you can make it mandatory if needed. If you want an overall feedback field, you can go to the Option tab and you can click on Enable Global Feedback Field just here, and you can make it mandatory also if you want. And then you have the Participant tab. And regarding this tab, to enroll the participant, you need to go to the group registration phase. So just to let you understand, the assessment of group members for us will be based on the work the students produced. So this work can be done in the platform or outside the platform. So in this template, it's set up like if the work we don't want the student to add the work to the platform. So this fictive phase will be represented by this phase, which is a group registration phase. So in this phase, you just have to enroll the participant, nothing else. So to do it, you just have to go to, you click on group registration phase, and you click on participant. And then you can import the groups from your Moodle course. So to do it, you can click on Enroll Teams, and you will be able to select the group from your Moodle course. So here I will choose the 4 groups. I'll click on Enroll, and I have my group enrolled. If you don't use the groups in Moodle or your LMS, or if you don't have the possibility to import them, you can do it with an Excel sheet. So to do it, you click on the 3 vertical points and you click on Import Participant. And here you will be able to copy paste the list of your students to enroll them. And if you need to know the import format, you can click on Import Format just here to understand how you have to import your students. We have a guide explaining this process step by step. So I will send you everything after this webinar. Once it's done, you can also define the results phase. So you can choose here the different information to show to the students. So if you need to have the results only for the teacher and to not display the results to the participant, you can let everything empty like this. If you want to show only the feedback, you can select only the feedback. If you want the average by criteria, you can also select this one. So you can select the information you want to display to the student just here. And you can also define the date you want to publish your results. And once everything is set up, you can click on Publish, and at this moment, the student will be able to participate by clicking on the activity directly on your LMS. So we'll see what they will be able to see when they click on this activity. So I will go back to my Moodle course, and I will log in with the student interface. Okay, so I'm logged with the student profile, and I click on a ChallengeMe activity. So I don't need to enter my credentials. I'm logged directly. And here I can see the different phase I have to participate. So I clicked on another challenge that we create together, just to show you a challenge with some data. So for if I show you the format of the challenge we have created, I will be able to see only 2 phases: the assessment of group members, this one, and the results phase. The other one I won't show you the other one because this is not the goal of this webinar. If you are interested regarding the other phases, you can see the replay of the webinar, and you can also subscribe to the next webinar or see some other subject. So as a student, I can click on the assessment of group members. I can see the start date and the end date, and I can see the different my teammates I have to assess. So here I'm in a group of 6 people, so I have to assess each of my teammates, including myself, on the criterion defined by the teacher. So here I have communication within the group. I can see the different descriptions, so I can rate my teammate here. I have creativity, critical thinking skills, etc. And I can also give an overall feedback here. I can also give a feedback by criterion if I want. And so this is for the self-assessment, but it's the same if I want to assess my teammate, of course. And then I can find out the results. So here I have different grade because I have different phases that generate a grade, but in our use case, we'll only have this tab, which is the assessment of group members. So here I can see my grade and on how many assessment it's based. So here I can see 3. I can also see my self-assessment. Here I can see the average by criterion I received and the different feedback I received. So as you can see, everything is anonymous, so I won't be able to see from who the feedback are. If you want to remove anonymous, you can do it in the settings of the challenge, but by default, it will be anonymous. And when you want to manage your challenge, so to access the different data of the challenge, different feedback given by the students, you just have, so I will switch to the teacher interface. You just have to click on the activity on your course. So if a course is shared with other teachers, they can also manage the challenge. So I will click on it as a teacher. And then because I have the right of the teacher, I can access the administration interface. So here I can see different information. First, I have the different phases of the challenge at the top. So here I will select the assessment of group members because this is our use case. I can see here the distribution of score. So here I don't have a lot of data. That's why I only have the 7th field, but otherwise I will have the distribution of score. I have the average by criterion to see if some criteria have been rated less than the others. And I have the list of participants. I can have the information of the group they belong to. And I can also see the scores they received, how many assessments they received, how many assessments they gave, the self-assessment to compare the score and the self-assessment can be interesting. And if I want to see the detail, just have to click on the students and I can see the average by criterion compared with the average of the class. I can also have the different feedback received for these students. If I want to moderate it, I can edit the assessment. I can invalidate it. I can remove it as well. So I can manage the change as I want, and I can also see the assessment sent and the self-assessment, of course. If I want to manage the results in an Excel file, I can export all the data as an Excel sheet. And by this way, you will have an Excel sheet downloaded with the participation, the score. You have also the feedback given by the students. So you can use this file to manage the results in Excel directly. It depends of the way you prefer to manage the results. And you have a different filter if you want to use them to see, for example, all the students who didn't participate, to see the overgraded score, the undergraded score. So we will consider an overgraded score if we see that a grade is really far from the average received for the student. So if it's above, it will be overgraded, and if it's the contrast, it will be undergraded. You can also see filter with the high standard deviation. to see if student received a really good grade and really bad grade, to understand why. So it will allow you to quickly identify the student you need to check in priority. So we see lots of information today. So I will send you the replay, allowing you to see it again if you need. And I will also send you different resources to help you to use ChallengeMe. But now, if you have some questions, do not hesitate to activate your microphone. If you need to see again some interfaces, and I will answer you.
Okay. Can I ask a question, for example?
Yes, of course.
If I don't need a self-assessment, can I delete it?
In fact, if you don't need the self-assessment, you can just ask the student to don't fill it because because they are not they don't have to fill the self-assessment to validate everything. They can just assess their teammates, and the self-assessment will be used in a separate way. So when you will export the grade, you will have a column for the self-assessment and a column for the peer review. So it won't have a impact regarding the score. So technically, you can't remove the self-assessment, but you can ask the student to not fill it.
Okay, understand.
Hey, Jean, if I may.
Yes, Valon, I can see you have a question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for this of today. Really, I will be very open. This is something very useful, in particular for the future. So I'm now in an asynchronous course, delivering it, and still I have some time. So I will try to implement this peer evaluation simply to identify extreme free riders, like
Okay.
if a student doesn't show and they have group work. So this is my interest for this period of teaching. And I see, in my understanding, it is possible, but it is possible. But as we speak, I don't know how to do it, and to be sure that this evaluation is going to be discreet, so no other colleagues of the students, teammates,
Yeah.
I don't want them to see. So is that possible?
Of course. So to do it, you can you have to add. So I will show you how you can do it. So you add the ChallengeMe activity to your course. So I show you now, but if you need a one-to-one meeting, of course we can plan it, and I will help you to create your challenge. So I will just name it test, okay, and open a new window, and select the direct mode.
Yeah.
Okay. Here I will select evaluation of group members. So the template I just choose.
Okay.
Okay.
Till now I can follow you.
Okay, perfect. So here you have to define the assessment criteria you want to use. So you can pick criteria from our ChallengeMe database.
Okay.
And you told me that you don't want the student to access the results, if I'm not wrong. So
no, it's to be visible just by me, but they
okay.
evaluate each other in a team of 5, for example.
Okay, at this moment you just have to remove the the display option. So you don't check you uncheck everything. By this way, the students won't be able to access their results. So once you define the display options and the assessment criteria, you can also define when it will start and when it will end. And then you can add the group you want to enroll. So to do it, you can click on group registration, participant, and here, if you have the groups in Moodle, I don't know if it's the case, you can click on enroll teams to add them by selecting them. Or if it's in an Excel sheet, you can click on import participant to add them. And you can also send us the Excel sheet if you prefer and so that we can add them for you. It depends the way you want
thank
to.
you. Yes, I have it in Excel sheet.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I will try doing it myself initially, and then if I'm stuck at some point, maybe I need to send an email to you.
Yeah, no problem. And as I said, if you need a one-to-one meeting, that's not a problem. We can create the challenge together.
Merci.
Thank you. Merci. Do you have other questions, or if it's the case after, you will be able to send your questions, send me your questions, and I will answer you, because usually you have the questions after. It's common. Okay, so I can see that there is no more questions. So thank you everyone for participating to this webinar. I
Thank
hope
you.
it will be clear for it has been clear for you. And if you have other questions, yeah, do not hesitate to reply me directly to the email I will send you with the link to the replay and the link to the different resources we have. Thank you everyone. I wish you a good afternoon.
Merci.
Okay, merci.
Merci.